and is so important for us to wrap our brains around, particularly when we are solo entrepreneurs and we're just getting started, to really ground ourselves in reality of where we're at with our business so that we can prioritize the right things. Welcome to the Action Taker podcast, where we keep you and your business in action so that you can focus on serving more people and doing what you do best. Hello, I'm Lauren Cosgrave. I'm a business coach, a Navy veteran. Around here, we like to say that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and taking action is always the next right step. Welcome everybody. This is the first episode of the Action Taker podcast. I am so excited to have you guys here and get this podcast kicked off and started. And today I want to start with sharing with you guys a framework that I use with my coaching clients where I equate your business to climbing Mount Everest and the 4 different stages of the life cycle of your business. Now, I find that this is such a helpful framework and is so important for us to wrap our brains around, particularly when we are solo entrepreneurs and we're just getting started, to really ground ourselves in reality of where we're at with our business so that we can prioritize the right things. If we don't prioritize the right things, we can go down the rabbit hole of social media or email marketing or digital marketing or whatever the latest craze is that's out there. And understanding these 4 steps really helps keeps us grounded. And I think especially right now in the time of COVID, if you're a parent and you're busy and things just aren't going the way you expect, or things happen and you need to shift to focusing on your family more, this framework will give you something to fall back on, something that you can use as a reference point to always know what you can prioritize to make sure that you're focusing on serving your clients and continuing to grow revenue in our business. Because that's what it's all about, right? I mean, I don't know any business owner that started their business just for fun. Well, I guess there are some people that did it just for fun, but really those of us that are on the path to success, it's more than just a side hustle. I'm not just talking side hustle here. And if you're here, you're an action taker, and I believe that you're ready to shift your business from side hustle into a legitimate career, and those are some of the topics that we're going to talk about today. All right, so let's cover the 4 stages of business. Stage 1, I like to call the trek in, and most of you have probably already been through this. This is the initial part where you're forming your business entity. Either an LLC or a corporation, or you're just going the sole proprietorship route. You're getting maybe a coaching certification or a health coaching certification or building your consultancy base. This is where you're just getting the engines revved up, and it's really exciting because you're just making it official. You're building out your website. Now, the trek in is something that we should never really have to revisit. Like once we do it, that's solid. We are ready for the next stages of our business. The next stage, after we have just a simple foundation, we can legally operate as a business in whatever state or country that we live in. The next stage is called our base camp. And solo entrepreneurs, solo coaches, solo consultants, this is your security blanket. Base camp is so important. And I see so many entrepreneurs leap right over base camp and go straight into the next stage of diving into social media before they solidify, how am I going to serve my clients? How am I going to do my sales calls? And how am I going to prospect and follow up with those prospects for the long term? Because when it comes down to sales, it's pretty simple. It's a numbers game, and it's something that you have to do consistently. You have to follow up once you build the skill set of knowing how to do a good sales call. What I don't want is for you to be one of those entrepreneurs or coaches that doesn't know how to do a good sales call. Because if that's the problem, then numbers no longer becomes the only critical element in our flow, in our funnel, in our business. But it's not that hard to get good at sales calls. It just takes a little bit of practice and finding the sales framework that works for you. Okay, so we've done our trek in. Now, building our base camp, before you move on to anything, I really just want to drive this home. Your top priority should always be serving your clients, finding a sales framework that you love, and having an awesome CRM tool or prospecting mechanism. That could be something as simple as a spreadsheet. Those make up the elements of our base camp. So what comes after the base camp? This is the part that most of us dive straight into. This is the part that most of us love and think that we should be doing in our business, and it's the most important thing, and that's email marketing, our digital storefront, which is all things social media. That's a different model that I can share at a later point on this podcast. And finally, building our expert status, going on podcasts, doing public speaking activities, maybe launching our own podcast, doing webinars, doing Facebook ads. Those are all things that build our expert status. If we jump right over Basecamp into our acclimatization climbs, we miss that foundation. We don't have the ability to serve people once we get them into our world. So why do we call it the acclimatization climb phase? Well, this is the part of Everest where you spend a bunch of time at Basecamp and you venture out and you go do a couple things and then you come back to Basecamp again. And you're going to do that for a couple of weeks before you're ready to make the summit climb. And I think that is such a great analogy for entrepreneurship, especially those of us that are solo entrepreneurs, which is really, kind of what we specialize here in on this podcast, is we have to go get in reps under our belt, and we don't have the time or bandwidth to be able to do it all at one time. So you may get really good at doing email marketing, and then you need to retreat from it for a little while you're learning Instagram or you're learning Facebook. Or you may launch a Facebook group and get really consistent with like your content and posting content out there over and over and over again. And then life happens and you just don't have the time to do that anymore. Maybe you need to retreat to your base camp and just serve your clients, just focus on those that are in your pipeline, have sales calls, or in your prospecting. And that's okay. That's how we learn new things. We really shouldn't beat ourselves up about it. The fact that we need to get acclimatized, so to speak, to doing all of these different things and wearing the multiple hats that we have in our business as entrepreneurs. The importance and reason that you need to do the acclimatization climbs yourself and not outsource them too soon is that you have to know how to do all of those elements in your business first before you can effectively manage and lead someone to do it for you. How can you expect someone to embody your voice and your brand on social media if you don't even know what your voice and brand is yourself? Or how can we expect someone else to know what platforms work best for our audience, be that Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, the list goes on, if we haven't figured that out ourselves first, if we haven't gotten to know our clients best first and foremost? You will get nothing but a bunch of pretty looking social media posts out there that don't connect with your audience if you outsource it too soon. So I strongly, strongly encourage you to commit to these acclimatization climbs. Give yourself permission to fall off the wagon every once in a while. Know that your audience will always be there when you come back, when you're ready to start building consistency. And it's going to take time. It just takes time. Anytime we're learning something new, we keep adding in one more layer of detail. We keep adding in one more layer, add in another layer, and see what we can continue to get on a consistent basis. Once we are confident that we know our customers better than anyone, we know our best social media platforms, we know how to do email marketing, and we've solidified ourselves as an expert in our space, either through public speaking or podcasts or webinars. Once all of those gears are turning and the engine is running, then you're ready for the final stage, our summit push. Okay, so from our trek in, we're saying to ourselves, what is a business and how do I form it? The base camp, we're saying, how do I make money? The acclimatization climbs, we're asking ourselves, how do I scale? And then for the summit push, we're ready to 10x. And it's no longer something that we can do with just us. We're finally ready to hire a team. This whole phase of getting from our trek in through the acclimatization climbs to our summit push, most of us want that really fast in our business. Most of us want that like yesterday. We're like, why am I not there yet? I started a business and it just should be running like a well-oiled machine at this point. And I'm only 6 months in, right? My dear, dear action takers, I want you to know that everyone's journey is different, but most entrepreneurs take anywhere from 3 to 5 years before they're ready to really hire on a legitimate team and they have sustaining revenue to be able to support that team over the long term. If I could give you a great recommendation of a book, I highly, highly recommend reading Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I'll make sure I put the link in the show notes for that book. But it really solidifies this model in a financial sense and gives you the reason why you shouldn't hire on a team too early and how to manage the finances of your business like you would if you were bigger, and to set yourself up for success from day one of launching your business. All right, action takers, let's review those 4 phases. 1 is the trek in. 2 is building our base camp. 3 is our acclimatization climbs. And 4 is our summit push. You can always retreat back to your base camp when life happens. Base camp is your solid home base for, where you can always go. If you can't do anything else in your day but serve your clients, make sure you're getting on your sales calls and maintaining your prospecting engine, you're doing everything right in your business. Action takers, if you follow this, if you commit to this 4 stages, if you commit to building your base camp and building that as a foundation, you are always going to continue to be able to make money in your business. You will always have that resource to lean on and the tools that you need to be able to generate revenue. If you found this training helpful and you're ready to take your business to the next level, if you're ready to master your base climbs and your acclimatization climbs, then I've put together a free resource that accompanies this episode. I want to invite you to go over to laurencosgrave.com/free guide. That's laurencosgrave.com/free guide, where you can get a PDF version of this model. Plus, I have a training video there, and you can even take a quiz that tells you exactly what stage your business is in. Even if you have no idea, I don't know what stage I'm in, Lauren, I will tell you exactly what to do there. Once you get to the thank you page, you just click that option to take the quiz. It'll pop you over to Messenger where you can take a quick quiz. And last but not least, don't forget to join the Action Taker community. It's an awesome group of individuals, entrepreneurs, and high performers just like you that are striving for excellence and for success and to take their business from side hustle to careers. Head over to facebook.com/groups/Action Taker community. You can also just search the Action Taker community on Facebook. Would love to have you there. There's a special invitation to be able to also come join in on an Action Taker Elite coaching session for free. So I've got as much stuff as I can give you right now. You can go get the free guide at laurencosgrave.com/free guide and go join the Facebook group, the Action Taker community, so that you can join those of us that are working alongside you. And if you're up for it, come join us. Come check out the Action Taker Elite coaching program. See if it's the right fit for you. Remember, Action Taker, until next time, remember that normal is boring, success is inevitable, and action taking is always the next right step.